Hi, class. So I wanted to come on here and talk to you a little bit about grammar and punctuation and the resources that are available to you. And I wanted to stress that because this is an English class, you are expected to write in complete sentences with minimal errors to grammar and punctuation. But I know for some of you, it's not as easy as for others, or you're still learning, or maybe it's more challenging for you. But there are really good resources available to help you to not only correct your papers, but to learn as you do. So one tip that I wanted to let you know about is that I try as much as possible to type my discussion posts or any kind of writing that is done online on a document first, because I have experienced many times writing a large chunk of text and having the power go out. I click something happens and it all disappears. And then I have to start all over, and it's really frustrating. So I actually do it on either a Google Doc first or on a Microsoft Word doc. This is Microsoft 365. I've been using Google Docs and now 365 more often because it's online, it's always there, and I can work from anywhere. And you can still download these and save them to your computer. All right, so I wanted to show you how they both work, and then I'm going to show you something else as well. I'm actually going to show you Grammarly. So with Google Docs, it's a little more simple. You go to Tools and you go to your Grammar and Spell Check, but mine is set so that it's going to check, you can see here, as I go. So it will underline or highlight places that need correcting, like here. I was almost to 1,000 followers, and it says I was almost 1,000 followers. Well, see, I don't want to do that. I was almost 1,000 because that doesn't make any sense. So some of it you have to know, but I had almost, now that makes sense, 1,000 followers. But I would say that Google Docs has kind of the weakest grammar and spell checker. Now, when you get to your Microsoft Word 365 or on your computer, you have a much more powerful grammar and spell checker, and I want to show you that here. So if we go to Review, you can see this is the grammar and spell checker. It's called Editor, and there are autocorrect options. Mine are all turned on. And text prediction, as you're typing, it will predict just like on cell phones when you're texting. But I'm going to go in here and I'm going to show you, because if I go and reset to default, it's going to turn all of these off, but I want all these on. Now you can choose for each one if there's something you want to turn off. If you don't want a double negation, then you can just click it off. But I want all of these, so again, here they are, because I wanted to check. This is inclusiveness. It's unbiased language. But this is one I'm going to leave, and I'm going to rely on myself to do that correctly. Punctuation is really important. Punctuation required with quotes that goes inside the quotation mark, one space. Resume. Now, I'm going to uncheck it because in discussions we can have first person references, but in formal academic writing and research papers you don't use first person. So you might want to check it just to have that there. And then I'm not going to check this because I don't even understand what this means, geopolitical references, but I imagine referring to another country in a certain way or a certain place in an incorrect way. And then I'm definitely going to click my vocabulary, and then I'm going to say okay, and it's going to save these preferences. And then it's going to underline for clarity and for grammar. So for instance, here it tells me conciseness, and what that means is that I want my writing to be as tight, concise as possible. And what concise means is eliminating wordiness, eliminating unnecessary words or phrases. And so this one says, instead of quite a number of social media sites, it says just say many. Now, if it's something that you would like to say because it sounds really nice the way you're saying it, or you're writing poetry, or something else that maybe doesn't matter if it's concise, then you can choose not to do that. These are stylistic choices and not errors in grammar. I use these sites for many reasons, and it says, I use these sites for many reasons. It says, oh, instead of different reasons, it just says for many reasons. And that's a good suggestion. This one is telling me that I need to put a semicolon here. And that is because what I have done is created a comma splice. CS, and this is a major writing error. This means that there should have been a period here because these are two complete sentences. I saw a post. I can't really remember much of what it looked like. Those are two separate sentences that need a period. But, and remember, a semicolon is a period. It is just used when the relationship between the second sentence and the first are so close that you don't want to pause for the same amount as you would with a period. You want to move a little faster, more like a comma, but it's still a period. It's still a complete sentence. So it's going to be a semicolon. Don't overdo semicolons, 1 or 2 per page. Now, can't is a conjunction, but for discussion posts, it's a contraction, but for discussion posts, that's fine. If I was writing this for a formal research paper, I would eliminate all my contractions, okay? So, cannot. Sometimes I tell students to avoid contractions because sometimes you incorrectly use a contraction that when separated wasn't the right words. Here's a space. It's just telling me to shrink that space up. And so you can see I can just go through here and correct these. This one, give them loving homes forever. That is correct, but I love the idea of forever homes, so I'm going to leave that as well. I can't, again, contractions, so much. An animal lover, so much. Let's just say, so much so. Okay, there you go. Okay, so I think this is a really good grammar and spell checker, but I think this is also a really good one. And I always, if it's important, I do it on my document and then I submit it to Grammarly. And so I'm going to go back here. Grammarly is, I'm going to put this down here. It's free. You can add it to your Chrome. You can add it to your Google Docs. You can add it to your email, your Gmail. But I always use this to help proofread, to be another source that's going to support me and give me suggestions and help me to write better papers. So you can sign up for free. You can get this in the University of Phoenix and the Center for Writing Excellence, or if you have your own. And I'm just going to open up a paper that's already in here. What you would do is, let me go back again, is you would, oh, nope, I'm going to go, is you would just upload a paper, okay, from your computer. This one's already here. I use it to show how this works. So Grammarly is going to check for correctness, that's red. For clarity, just like in the Microsoft Word documents, like wordiness and things like that, engagement. But of course, you're not going to have the premium. But what is really great about Grammarly that the others don't do is it has a grammar book in it. So when you click on something, and should be with the, you can also learn why that is true. You can learn what it should be and the reasons and examples. And I have had almost all my students who use this on a regular basis and look at and read these grammar rules tell me they learn and they start to do it less and less. And then you just click change. And here we go, should be of, it's a preposition. Again, you can learn more. And then change it. This was the wrong word. It should be simulations. It understands. Pretty smart. Change that to the correct word. Curiosity driven. It should have a hyphen. You can also look and see why it needs a hyphen. This one is in relation to, should just be one word, and that is sentence conciseness. I'm going to choose concerning. Again, you can learn more about sentence conciseness. And I'm going to click that. And I'll do one more here, defective. With this, should be defective, not defected. Okay, and then when you're done and you've checked it off, you just come up here again and then you download it. And then once you are done and you've downloaded it or you've checked it on your Microsoft Word, you just have to go through and copy it and then paste it into this discussion board. So I hope this will help you. These are great resources to support you in your proofreading and editing and becoming a better writer. They will help you be successful. If you have any questions about any of this, reach out to me. And I hope you are having a good night. For some of you, you might already be asleep, but you'll see this in the morning. All right. Thank you for watching.